Renee Christ. I am the Collections Manager here at LeMay America's Car Museum. In our next lecture series, If Cars Could Talk, KBTC Television and LeMay America's Car Museum have partnered to bring you a talk on the cars of Downton Abbey. Downton Abbey is a Masterpiece Masterpiece Classic series shown on PBS television. It's in its 5th season right now, and the Downton Abbey period is from about 1912, starting with the sinking of the Titanic, until its current series started in 1925. Cars are prominently featured in this show, and we're going to talk about the various cars that you see on the show, the type of driving that was going on in the auto manufacturers during that time, and we'll be discussing not only cars that are shown in the Downton Abbey period, but I'll be transitioning into vehicles in the United States that were driven by some of our American aristocracy. The thing about the cars of Downton Abbey is they're almost like another character in the show. The cars show just like the English class system, which I discuss a little bit. The cars also have a class structure themselves, such as starting with the aristocracy, or the very fine coach-built, chauffeur-driven cars, such as this beautiful Pierce Arrow, all the way down to the working class cars. We have middle class touring cars, and then we can go down into the buses, the transport buses, down into the working class vehicles such as the Ford Model T. Ford Model Ts are prominently shown throughout the series, and we're going to go into a little bit of Henry Ford and his genius in not only the development of the Model T, but also in his marketing practices, as well as exporting the car to countries, to various countries all over the world. As a matter of fact, the Ford Model T was the very first car to be manufactured simultaneously in multiple countries, as well as multiple areas of the United States. We will then talk about the cars who drove them. We'll be transitioning into the wild and roaring 20s, where people and fashion and automobiles were fast, and fast was fashionable. About this time, following World War I, people that normally wouldn't have thought about driving their own cars, they had themselves chauffeured, if they were of that class, started driving their own cars, and they were buying sports cars and like the beautiful AC that is featured in the series, as well as moving into people buying their own cars as well in the middle classes. Then we move into also talking about the American aristocracy, because in Downton Abbey, one of the family members is American, and her family, we're going to talk about how money was made in the United States in vast quantities by one person at a time in one generation. So those people amassed wealth, and they also acquired fabulous cars. We will talk about some of the ones that we have in the museum that were owned by famous Americans, such as our Crane Simplex that was owned by John D. Rockefeller. We also have a car in the museum, a Rolls-Royce, that was owned by a woman on the West Coast here in the United States, and they made their wealth in various avenues, such as timber, in the early part of the 20th century. So we will then finish up with, following the talk, we have a special treat for everyone. We're going to be taking you up on an up-close and personal tour in our Classics and Coachwork ramp exhibit here, where we have 21 cars on display. Excuse me, that's 12 cars on display, but we have several around the corner here in our Harold E. LeMay collection that fit in the Downton Abbey period, and we'll be getting up close and personal with them, opening the doors, showing the interiors, talking about who drove them, how they were ridden, how they were driven, and giving a little delving deeper into each car specifically. So we hope you join us for the talk, and here at LeMay America's Car Museum.